All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. This is Mookie, joined here as always with my boy Darth Beaver. And we're going to be getting into the whole topics today in regards to the patch 6.3 updates, what kind of rolled out into that. It's a ton of gameplay and different things that kind of rolled out. But we'll just kind of summarize the key points off of it. And then we'll also go into the Friday blog post. But the heavy conversation really that I wanted to discuss here with Darth is we're going to go into the whole breakdown of Apocalypse and really the farming that you need to be mindful of, and the team buildings, just everything to kind of roll into just getting yourself prepared. Because I mean, the blog post that came out really is already jumping right into it. They're talking about the Pestilence Saga is going to be starting, so that's going to be with Morgan Le Fay. So yeah, a lot of good information, so we'll jump right into it. Dart, how are you doing, buddy?
Excellent, Mookie. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, let me get the gameplay up here. So as I bring up the gameplay, of course, we normally just kind of recap past events. The ones that just wrapped up here, I'm kind of curious because I was reading over Reddit before I went to bed last night, and one of the events that just kind of ended right here is going to be, I think it's this, is it the Party in Paradise? It's the one with the big milestone that kind of got left off. No, it's not that one. Which one was
That
it?
is.
Oh, no, it's this one right here that still has 11 hours. This is what I'm wondering. Is about the whole month event. And I was just kind of curious. We talked about this a little bit last week where there was a blunder that all happened, and then they kind of have to just give out the rewards to us. So this is kind of like a milestone event that been rolled out twice. And now that's the second one. We kind of already had her unlocked early because of that hiccup that they had. Does this kind of still strike a nerve? Do you feel like you still should be getting this last milestone, or are you just kind of over it, knowing that the last two of these summer milestones have been you had to kind of pay to complete?
I think. Yeah. I figure that's kind of what they're doing. I think that there should be a way to get them free to play, like their month-long event. And if you get on every day and you collect your stuff, it's silly that they give out a lot of that stuff via one core offer. So not only do you have to log in and play, but then you have to go find their one core offer in the store that's at the bottom of 45 offers sometimes. You'd think they could just put that in a calendar and be like, hey, you logged in, there it is. As long as you logged in every day, you're going to collect it, and we're going to get you there with all this other stuff. Um, it just seems it gets a little more convoluted every time, because this time there was another event where if you paid for the other event, it would have given me personally enough of the Mjolnir shards to finish the month-long event. But like I said, they screwed it up this month. It's not a kind of a very apathetic about whatever happens with this event now, because I've collected the rewards basically twice.
Yeah. Okay. And then that one part that you brought up as far as collecting the orbs, the little fragment pieces, it's funny how this is 2 months in a row, or on the very last day, if you're interested in trying to complete that, and everybody has different things that comes up. I mean, you talked about how you got to be mindful about the core offer. But then there's other layers to it that some people also could be missing out on and may want to purchase to kind of complete. But if you're on the very last day, there's absolutely nothing this month for you to make up. That's why I'm just kind of skimming through it here. Unless there's something on that web milestone, web
Okay, so
store.
we'd have to look in the web store to be sure.
Yeah, no, it's, but
I
the
have
reason why,
noticed.
yeah, I think it was funny because yesterday is where they had like a $15 offer that would have pushed someone like myself, and probably where you are in that very last like 500, you know, fragment pieces to kind of get that last milestone. And I wasn't gonna bite the bullet, and I'm just I think just overall, like I just don't like that feeling. And then that's a real sentiment I just want to get at what you just hit on. These month-long events overall, my gut feeling, or my, that's not even a gut feeling, but my feeling is it's just that like it should just be free to play. I mean, you grind every day off of it. Why do I have to go ahead and kind of look to reach into my pocket for something that's not, I guess, like usually when I reach in my pocket, it's to kind of have an edge a little bit. Like I want to get the new character first. But I don't think there should be that type of feeling when you're doing like a month milestone event to feel like, oh, I'm gonna one up by completing it early. I don't know. It's just weird. Um, But anyways, I was just curious about that. But that's really just kind of what the current thing is. But I wanna jump right into the big heavy topics here because there's a lot of meaty information when we talk about Apocalypse. So on the blog post right here first, as we kind of move forward, we're starting to move. We got the patch 6.3 that all kind of came down already, and now we're gonna kind of get into the whole aspects that they wrote into the patch, and that starts off with this guy right here. As soon as that patch came out, they already had the red store offers off of him, or him being like the elite character in the red star orb. And now he is going to be the month-long event. So he's going to be replacing Mighty Thor. And I believe that this is going to be rolling out possibly tonight. I didn't look into the dates, but yeah. Anyways, he's the month-long feature, and they break into it just showing how you're going to get certain, honestly, I haven't looked into the details of the scores or what the fragments or what the little pieces are for him to start collecting on the milestones. But there's 4 main milestone events. And then they're going to have the quick rumble milestones that also kind of help you through this month-long thing for Deathlock, and then some 2 Alliance milestone events. And then they break into all the details. Now, the one that I want to pause on is this one right here. It's the Victory Blueprint. So that's the key one right there, because that Victory Blueprint is the one currently on the milestones that provides you with the level 4 blue ions. I think a mobile gamer might. I think I just checked out his video this morning. Sorry, as I'm trying to find this thing. Where am I at? And he was talking about the war rewards. Whenever we go into our 3 war events during the week, they go into your end game mailbox, and he talks about how you can save that because it's Victory Blueprint right here is where, like, once you start collecting the rewards, it kind of earns points towards this milestone. Is that something that, did you do that last week? I know you mentioned it one time before, but is that something that you've been good at remembering, or do you forget about that little trick?
No, I don't remember any of that ever. I'm
Okay.
bad at that.
Yeah, I don't have the reward. Well, if I go back to gameplay, we'll look at that. But yeah, anyways, this one right here is the one that I would tell you guys to kind of mark, be mindful of. It's on August 7th through the August 14th period. All right, so that's about it. So that's with Deathlock. Now, also within this blog post here, because they're going into all the scorings here for all those different things, is this one right here, just Pestilence Saga. So Darth, did this catch your attention? Did you read this?
Oh yeah, of course, got my attention. That's what we're doing this year. So we're going towards Apocalypse.
Yeah, yeah. So this one right here, well, did it surprise you that it came out this early?
No, it surprised me maybe last week, but because of the blogs and stuff last week, I was prepared for it to happen and stuff like that.
Okay.
What they said, they're running the Scourges twice, and then they're putting out their sagas. So it makes sense to assume that after the second run of the Pestilence event ends, they immediately drop this into our hands.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, but I was kind of like assuming that all the horsemen were going to be in lock, and then the second round was going to go through, and then the saga was going to start. Like, I don't know why. That's kind of what I was thinking. No, so it did strike me off guard when I saw this. I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay. So, and then it kind of talks about the requirements again, depending on what difficulty you want to jump into here. So, it's really what I want to outline today. So, what they talk about to jump into the difficulty 1, that you need to get Morgan Le Fay's team, the Darkhold members, at gear tier 13. But the main one right here, for those that want to start planning on getting Apocalypse locked, you're going to have to complete the difficulty 2, type section 2 and up. So that one right there is where you're going to need to get your gear tier 15 set up for your characters for each character. Then to go into the rewards structures within the sagas here. So if you're on that, just focusing on difficulty 2, you're to start getting that Morgan Le Fay Awakened ability materials, some T4 gold training, and armory 16 orbs. So I was kind of underwhelmed when I saw the rewards. I was hoping something meteor that was going to help you get to what you need to, like the gear tier 17 or some like blue ions, like the level 5 pieces or something like that. That's what I was hoping for when I saw the rewards. But to me, this is just kind of staying stagnant as far as not being able to advance your characters to the next one. So I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on the rewards or any feelings
They're
off of it?
they're not giving you the ions until you beat difficulty 3. So, but they're going to give you a bunch. They're going to give you enough to take Morgan Le Fay and one other character up to blue 5. So that's going to be a grind. They're gonna have to do something about those the T4 and the T5 ions for that. But they have 6 months to do it though.
Mhm.
You know, the weird thing about this year is we're looking at Apocalypse and what we need to do for Apocalypse. And to be honest, I don't see Apocalypse coming out before February earliest.
Yeah.
Just the way their patch math is working out, and that's a long time. So um, I'm not as worried. I'm more worried about this time. My goal right now is to get all of the Horseman team up to 16. So that'll blow me past difficulty 2, but not to difficulty 3 for the sagas, and then it will get me to the Apocalypse. It will let me unlock Apocalypse at Gear Tier 16 because I'll be able to do his second tier of his saga, and I should be able to get train of thought just crashed. Then you should be able to unlock Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So and anyway, that's the goal. So I'm not looking to get to 17 today and realizing how much time there is. Like I'm not as stressed as I could be because we have so much time.
Yeah. And I popped this open because I mean, that's really the thinking, is getting that team ready. And luckily, I was able to do that here. Um, there was something that came out within this patch that really is something I'm going to highlight here, because this I was able to get Scarlet Witch, to the G16 level. So now I have them all across the board. I'm ready with this team and with the saga. So I got them all built up kind of where personally I'm at and I feel comfortable with. Now I'm gonna start creeping up and getting them to the level 90. But there's so many different things kind of focusing on. It's just been thrown at us here that, I gotta, sidetracks me as far as away from this team. But I got the gear pieces lined up to where they need to be. But the big thing off
Cool.
of the big thing off of what came out on this patch here, we didn't even talk about pre-show, was these challenges. Yesterday, Saturday, I was telling Darth I spent my day hanging out here in the house. My AC was out. I really had the time to be mindful of this whole origin, and I took the time to go ahead and try to make sure I'm getting the difficulty 5 unlocked. This is the only one I was having issues with, was with the bio. Before we kind of break down each one of them, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that this right here is what we need on the Mystic, and this was huge for me to kind of start getting these pieces here, and I was able to unlock it. And once I got all of these rewards, is what carried me to get Scarlet Witch back up. So those that are looking at, where do I find the gear tier pieces, specifically for certain traits, it's really on this origin, and them unlocking difficulty 4 and 5 is really the direction that you're gonna have to start going. And just, I mean, I don't have any videos of it, but I mean, I can kind of break that down a little bit later. But this was huge for me.
It's a big deal, dude. I'll tell you, that's more work than I put into it. I 3-starred 4 and when I'm good for now.
Yeah, so I had time. So one of the tricks, I mean, since we're talking about it, and I wish I can play, I already collected my rewards from today's origin. Um, it's just back out of it. As soon as you get that one player killed on your team, boom, just like get out of it, restart it, so that way you still have your 3 tries to go. So that's what I did, is I backed out of it. Difficulty 4 was kind of easy for me. I got the 3 stars. Once I got over here and I had 2 more tries at it, that's when I started doing the whole backing out, and I kind of start figuring out the mechanics. But I would say, as far as rosters go, I went with the Darkhold team. So I don't know. What I did is I brought the Darkhold characters plus Dormammu. So that's kind of where you substitute him for Scarlet Witch. And that got me through with it. There's certain attack orders. I think Icarus might come out. Man, I wish I would have recorded it. It was a pretty interesting fight because it's not easy. You think like, oh, I got all these mystic characters already. I'm ready to steamroll it, but no, there's something there that kind of pauses. But anyways, yeah, I got that through. All right, so going back onto it. So yeah, so those are the requirements. That's how you can start getting your gear levels up for your characters. Now, if we go into this next section of the blog post, the character availability. Scarlet Spider, man, you've been talking about where's Scarlet Spider? Where's Scarlet Spider? Well, here he is, and they got him on the War
Yeah,
Store.
he's in the war store.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Because the reason why that sucks, part of this conversation is the War Store. Well, the War Store only has like one slot that you need to start farming those like the gear tier pieces for the Apocalypse kind of
17s,
requirements.
yeah.
Yeah, the 17s. But now they got to squeeze Scarlet Spider in there as they want to sidetrack you. So that sucks.
All bitter, but they haven't added a character to the war store since Maria Hill, so it's been a year.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's true.
Like it sucks. It sucks to say that and to be like, well, it's been this long. It just happens to be a character that we really need and really want. I guess we
Yeah.
don't really need Scarlet Spider, do we? He's not. We already unlocked Morgan Le Fay. He's not that important now.
Yeah, so that was my thinking too. So once he starts popping up on here randomly, that does become the question. It's like, man, do I buy him or not? Because the one item that you want to be mindful of, I mean, there's only three options over here, but I think it starts popping up over here on the far right column is where you get some of these particular pieces that you need for your teal gear. Um, but yeah, I kind of I wait because Doom 3 rolled out and it is a little bit difficult. So does it feel like if would it help to get your Scarlet Spider to a level 7 or not? Like for me, I don't think so. I mean, I know that's going to be the question for some people. It's like, man, I got to build up web warriors. I got to build them up more. I want to be able to one shot the nodes and so forth. Kind of that mentality as you go into the Doom 3. But I think he's still okay on level 6. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those characters up to level 90. But I'm not going to spend any gear resources, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. But to kind of wrap up the blog posts, what we also got going on over here is going to be Magic. I'm kind of excited about her coming out as on the Blitz. So she's going to be the Blitz character. I'm rolling out tonight. I forgot who the second one is somewhere, but oh, that's right. The second ones are like the Rumbles. So the Darkhold are going to be the featured team for the Quick Rumble event later in the week. And of course, you got your, payday with the mercenaries coming through to get yourself some gold, some more gold in your pockets, Darth.
Hey, I spent some of my gold. I'm under 100 gold orbs now. They gave me a whole bunch of training materials, and I went crazy for
One right there. All right. Well, this is just something I came across. I know that Mobile Gamer has like a GCII or something like that he comes in through. This is another person that, sorry, I don't know what your name. Like it says created by Brotherhood of the Storm. It looks like a couple, like a team guys create this as well. So they have their own little calendar, weekly calendars that kind of shows what the event. So just summarizing again, on Sunday we're over here. We're talking about Deathlock. Apparently that event's going to start along with the Valkyrie one, which we didn't highlight because that's like a costume event. And then we got the
You're ready to blitz your ass off tonight.
yeah. And then there it
But
is.
we're gonna blitz anyway because it's magic. Like it works out for us.
Yeah, we got the magic one right there. We got Black Bolt coming through. It's a legendary. And then there's that Saga. Comes out on the 1st on Monday. So right after Morgan Le Fay's Pestilence event stops, the Saga is going to kick over. So that's kind of the timeline there. Crucible starts as well. So it's going to be a busy Monday, man. Crucible is that. We'll talk about Crucible as soon as I get off this screen.
Crucible.
But yeah, there's that. So, I have to highlight Crucible because let's start with that. So if I bring up the gameplay over here, we finally were able to talk about what leagues we're in, right? And we started talking about the leaderboard. So I know they have some issues with the rankings. And they still need to fix that. They had a little blog post, but here's the leagues. And I'm at 1742 is what my rating is. And that puts me in the diamond class. And I know Darth is on the diamond class. He's a little up higher than I am. But this is huge. I mean, because when we go into it here and you look into the rankings and what the rewards are going to be, I guess this must be like the season rewards later. It just doesn't look that meaty, but it's where it says event ends in 43 days. Who knows? But what I'm trying to find Here it is. I think it's on. Oh, it timed out. Yeah, it's this one right here. But like, I was able to get the first ranking, and I think for me, I was excited about it because I think it's a big deal to get. I'm all excited about 15 extra of these ions. But whatever I need, I mean, I need it. But maybe it's not that underwhelming if you don't get it. But nah, I mean, this level 4 ions is what's going to be needed when you try to get into the difficulty 3 of those Apocalypse Sagas. So this is the one area that really the only area that you're able to farm for it. And I'm looking over my notes here, just double checking that. Yeah, obtaining the blue level 4 ions is only going to be in that victory blueprint. So this is the victory blueprint is where you start getting these rewards that we're talking about on that milestone event, the monthly ones. And then Cosmic Crucible is where you're going to get it on the weekly basis. And I think, shit, is it only like one Crucible event a week? Right? Because it kind of no, wait. Yeah, it is. It rolls out on Mondays and then it just kind of ends and then you kind of go through a cooldown period and it starts up again on Monday. So really, you got to wait until one Cosmic Crucible event to get the actual ions. But the ones that you do get on the 3 matches are really just like these Crucible credits, but you're not getting ions off the match wins. Yeah. So anyways, so that's on the Cosmic Crucible thing. So for you, I mean, with all that, I mean, do you still go about your gameplay? Or are you feeling like you got to be a little bit more competitive? Like, what's your thought about it? Or as far as like trying to get those rewards? I mean, does it...
Super sweaty anyway, man. But so the goal has changed a slight amount. I still want to clear all their rooms. I still need all the Cosmic Crucible credits because there's still Gear Tier 17 in the Cosmic Crucible store. That's still where a lot of Gear Tier 16 pieces are and the uniques are. So I still need those credits. So my number one goal is still to clear all 6 of your rooms. But that also leads to the most likely chance for me to get to victory. And I have a weaker defensive setup because I don't like to get stuck on somebody's team. Mm-hmm. But I won all 3 of my matches last week by about 20 points apiece. But that was literally just because I had everything on offense. So if they put their Dorm Hold on defense, I can one-shot it. If they put their Unlimited X-Men on defense, I can one-shot it. Like, I've set up my offense so that no matter what they put out there, I can beat it in one shot if things go correctly, which literally I found out that gives you the best chance to win because you've got to count on your opponent not making one mistake and dropping a match. So that's how I've been doing it.
Yeah, no, it's a good philosophy, and I did start taking that because I went too heavy on defense, and I realized, number one, it's not fun not having the offensive characters you need to win the matchups. So, yeah, that definitely is 100% the mentality to have, and the biggest thing off of it as I'm pulling up this reward rankings is that having that feeling, because I did drop to 8 on some of those. Part of it is like I didn't even do matches one of the weeks. And now looking at these rewards, it's like, from 60 to 21 type feeling or 45 to 20, you kind of have to squeeze as much as you can. I mean, because this is, again, there's only 2 places that you can collect these rewards. And the Crucible is one of them. It's the primary one, I would say. And then you just try to be mindful about your Alliance reward, the Alliance War rewards. So this is what I'm talking about when you get into the... right here. So this is the in-game box that we get from our war completion. And the key thing is this ticket right here, these war credits. When you start collecting these and start, right now I already opened it. But if you want to have an advantage on that victory blueprint, when you get it in your box, you want to save it and it stays there for 6 days. So technically you can start doing that after Monday's war. And just start hanging on to it. Yeah, I'll try. I have I'm so robotic. I'm so robotic. That guy just opened these.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that's see over here, this is the one from the web store that I just kind of wait to try to collect that later.
Now they've changed that. That affects you how they've changed that because now instead of it being in the milestone section where it will save your rewards for a few days, it's literally in the store and that offer expires. So if you don't go into the store every single day, you miss out on that now.
I know, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, like that sucks. Like I do it for my phone, and I know you're one of the guys that can't. So it's pretty easy for me to hop on a website from my phone for a minute and go and find that little free reward and collect it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it because it is something there. This is what Darth is alluding to. So I don't have access to like the PC every day. I mean, I do, but it's just kind of a pain in the ass because I have to
Pain. It's not the
disconnect.
phone you carry in your pocket.
Yeah. So they used to have it right here within this milestone where you could just kind of collect it, and if you missed out on a day, it would be on the bottom, like go say milestone ended, but it'll still have a little a red dot, and I can still collect the reward if I missed out on that. But now it doesn't even go into that bucket. You got to find it over here onto the store. And we might as well talk about it because I haven't even collected. So this is like a new habit. I know some people are like, where do you find it? Where do you find those pieces? Well, yeah, you actually jump into the web store and you go,
All the way to the
you
bottom.
go. Yeah, and you go past the course, keep going. And then here it is, like something like where it says free. And you claim it. And it's funny because it didn't even have the dot on it either. See, that almost threw me off. I'm like, did I collect it? No, I mean, yeah, and then it finally goes away. So it doesn't even have a dot on here to kind of like highlight it. It's literally at the bottom and it says free. You just click on that. But anyways, yeah, that's it's a pain in the ass. Um, so yeah, all right. So we're just kind of talking about the whole Crucible thing there. So jumping over and let's talk about Apocalypse. So this is also like one of those images that came out on their media pages, whether it be like Twitter or Facebook. I don't know if it came on Facebook, but no, it came out on Twitter. And this is like, the map. You got over here on the left, we got our Morgan Le Fay, and she's on the second event. So now you're going to be entering the Pestilence Saga. And so when you do that, I wonder if I have, I don't have a breakdown of it. But anyways, we already talked about the requirements. That's the gear 16 if you want to get in difficulty 2. Now, we talked about Red Hulk. That was a big hot topic yesterday or last week. And then we still don't know who the Death Horseman's going to be. But this is it. Now, some other people have started jumping into their infographics here. Something just to share. So people are already kind of talking about, that road map that we're speaking of, but they want to break it down by the pestilence scourges up on the very top. This is what helps you, like the key teams that help you unlock Morgan Le Fay. And then there's Rogue, and I'll blow it up a little bit. Here's the Famine, which is Rogue. And then Red Hulk's team right here. Now we just got them all out, starting to build up a little bit. So man, I mean, there's just like, especially as you're looking to the right columns over here towards the War and Death, you start looking at Iron Man, Vision, Ravengers. These are all like teams that people need to start building up. But what I would say as you do that, I ran into this infographic here. And I thought this was interesting. This is actually from Heartgrave. I didn't know he makes graphics. But
Hargrave has gotten so much better in the past 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I find myself watching his videos now. Like, and instead of thumbing them down and rolling my eyes, like he's changed his tone so much. And he's an envoy now, which is really funny.
I didn't
So
know
like,
that.
he got accepted into the envoy program finally, like Archangel or whatever made it happen. And
Right.
and so he's he's got his own style. He's got a different style, and he's just not nearly as ragey all of the time anymore. I mean, he still has his moments, which is his big selling point and stuff. But like his content is actually, for me personally, like gone way up in the in what I'm willing to watch.
Yeah.
So sorry,
No,
it's
no, no,
weird
no,
that
no,
he's
no,
bringing
no,
up
no, no.
infographics and stuff.
No, it's sweet, and I don't mind like that. I don't see us like that type of level content creating because they kind of go about it on a daily basis.
Even
For you,
close.
yeah, no, we're like just kind of conversating, and I don't mind, and that's kind of the purpose of the whole show. We're just kind of more the audience members to those people, and just kind of sharing feedback in a way, and our personal experiences. So it's funny you brought him up because it's funny. That's exactly the same sentiment that I have for him. It's totally has changed, like his. And it's all of it is kind of niche, some of them could just be kind of character, just kind of showing like, oh, this is what the audience I want to attract and why I'm going to be a certain way and so forth. But um, it made me think about Boylan. It's like he took that negative approach now, and where I can't watch him as much anymore because he's just pissed off at everything. And he's trying to build up like the rage aspect of it, and it's just something like I kind of stopped watching him a little bit because of that tone. They just kind of reverse. So.
Only for the numbers again with Boilon. It's funny how the tone of a content creator will just lead you to watch or not watch their videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, I'm talking about, and again, I'm talking about the big guys that make their money on YouTube and off of Twitch and things like that.
yeah, yeah. But here's a Hargrave. So, which is cool. The reason why I paused on it, I saw this, I was like, damn, this is exactly what you and I were kind of talking about. And he put on an infographic. And I really wanted to show this here because this really, as you were looking at the characters that are all being built up towards the Scourge events, then the primarily teams that need from the Apocalypse Sagas and so forth, he broke it down here as far as like, if you're a beginner, you build to 12. Remember, we talked about in the very beginning, we just kind of get to that gear tier 12. And then the mid game, when you're mid game, and I consider it's like right in the middle of the like, we're probably, past mid game towards end game period. But to me, mid game is like any new characters that start coming out or new teams or those Scourge teams there. That's where I build them at. I get them to the 15 level and I stop. The only ones that you should be mindful of if you really want to pay attention of your resource management is this guide, because these teams that that are going to be part of the Saga squad, yeah, you feel safe to build them up. And that's all of them right here. There's your Gamma team, there's your Darko team, and there's your Unlimited X-Men team. So it was just kind of a cool feature that I saw off of that because, again, as I was looking at this infographic here, you start seeing Web Warriors, you start seeing what is it, Dark Hunters. Like, no, they're not part of that infographic as far as building up to 17. So just yeah, be mindful about that when you start seeing that. You don't need to go that aggressively, past the GT15 pieces, because man, it's going to take you a while to start, if you make let's say bad decision, but it just takes a while to kind of rebuild another character when you put all those Mystic into somebody that that wasn't part of the Apocalypse Saga. All right, so
you know who feels very lucky to have not completed his second run of Dark Dimension yet?
Who's that?
This guy. Me. Because you know what that means? That means all the gear that I would have blown on a bunch of characters that aren't those characters on that list, I can now invest into those characters.
Yeah. You haven't done,
because you know how I am.
You're still
I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it.
I was like, "Ooh, I thought you already had it." Oh shit! Okay, no, that's awesome.
I'm gonna finish up global for the second time today when we're done, and then I don't know. It might go a lot quicker for me. It might be before next week that I've got it done twice. So.
Okay. All right. Well, and then so the other pieces, so that's the character build-ups there that we're looking at into the teams. So. And I wish I would have had like my own little infographic as far as requirements of gear. Maybe that somebody can do that. Whoever watches this, definitely start kind of showing an infographic, because the requirements that you're going to need again is the GT16, GT17 later. And where you're going to start finding off this new patch is where they start kind of introducing some of the pieces here, and that's through Doom 3. Let me bring up the gameplay. So just really so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When you go into
the now, I launched the wrong raid last night.
I saw that, man. I was saying, you know what? Better you than me, man. I was scared of hitting something too like that. I was like,
it wasn't during an event.
That's the raid. So yeah, we're talking about Doom, right? So we're Doom 3. When you start collecting the rewards on Doom 3, it's gonna allow you to get this new teal elite orb. Right over here.
Where are your orbs?
I already stopped popping them. I started opening them.
You don't have 45 of them already?
No, man. But I think what's funny, and you probably know a little bit better than these pieces right here that come up in the middle part. These are the ones that are like the new feature ones, and
yes, those are them.
Yeah, these are the ones that you're shot. What's crazy about it is like you find it here, so you're gonna find these pieces, and this is all your build up to your 17s. So they're going to be on this orb, but if you want to shop, if you want to farm for it, I can't get to the left. Okay, here we go. I'm like trying to use the mouse like I do my phone on my finger to scroll over. That didn't work. But anyways, it's over here, like on the actual purchasing of it. It's like up on this upper right. Dude, they're expensive.
I buy them.
Yeah, look at that, 300K.
I don't give a shit.
No, you should.
Yeah, well, I've been talking for weeks about what am I going to do with all this gold? Because I got no training mats to spend any of it. Well, there's an answer right there.
Yeah, and it's funny. I haven't even gone to the store today, so here we go. So this is what I do daily. I look up in that upper right-hand corner. I like that piece, and I kind of skimmed down. Now that like Dar's saying, like now gold doesn't seem as a crunch anymore. So I can start now. You want to start filling some of these gold pieces that people are kind of running low on. Like I'll start still buying some of this.
I buy those.
Yeah, I'll get that bag, and then that's it. I don't care about jumping into the purples.
Nope. Nope.
That's where I pause. I just kind of look into the inventory, see how much I own. Everything look cool. All right, cool. And then over here, I haven't shopped yet, but I always hit these every day. Get my war ready.
Sometimes I refresh it.
Yeah, yeah. And then those I don't. I'm good.
I think I probably spend 300 cores a week on that store.
You look at my late. Check out my course. Remember, I was in the thousands, like double. Like I was in 13. I went
Wow.
down. I went heavy.
You've been going hard on that Valkyrie event though.
Yeah,
Like that'll
exactly.
do it. Like, and are you on track to get your 6-star Valkyrie?
I need to be a little bit more aggressive this week. I was spending it on that, but there was also like this orb that came out during the week. There was a hiccup. I'm not in the right one, but it was her. I wanted to get her up to 6, so I started spending it on this. And of course, I didn't get any big pops. I was getting like the minimum, like 6 or 8.
Mm.
But so I was like, bam,
Did you?
six. What?
You got it though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, we look at our Asgard squad. Is this kind of where like my gold's been going? Like normally I would start getting this people up to level 90, but I've been working on this team because this is gonna be part of that whole Red Hulk event.
Unlock,
So
right?
yeah, so I need to get her at 6. I'm a couple pieces away. I haven't been lucky on the drops as I had been early
We
on.
got a week. You should get it though, because we got like what almost a week left on that, and you get like probably three. If you're spending the extra cores, you get at least 4 orbs a day.
Hmm. Yeah,
And 8
yeah,
times 7 is 56, even if you got the minimum. Oh no,
yeah.
wait. Yeah, so you'd be all right.
Yeah, I think I'll get it. Yeah, so then her, I wanted to get her there, so I started popping up her. I used
Did you see?
my course.
I got it a 6-star too, but I didn't do it with cores. Did you see the offer in the store this week where you could buy it twice? It had launch party orbs, 500 cores, and 2 worthy orbs for $5.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I actually picked that up, which gave me enough cores to get her to 6-star. Or
Nice.
yeah, sharp cores.
Yeah, see, and I passed on that one. I felt like there was 2 offers on that kind of rolled out. There was like a 24-hour period, and then the next day it was like a 2-day period, but I only bought it one time. Yeah,
A couple times, but it was nice. I needed the course. I spend my course way more than you do. I refresh everything.
yeah, okay. But yeah, shopping on here, going through this. I don't need anything on this store. Um, yeah, over here, this is what we're talking about. So these pieces, I've been starting to save these up, but as you can tell, I'm at 11,000. This one I probably will buy. All these characters are gonna need that. This one,
Just your Sunfire. Any of those pieces that are needed for horseman characters, you got to have 22 more of them besides the 18. So you have to have 40 altogether to get them to 17.
yeah, okay, all right. And the Crucible store, I've already been this, of course. This is where the spending starts going down. Um, the key one right here is this one. Of course, it's the one piece that's being sold for 3,900. The Crucibles. But this is the one slot right there again. These are the ones that drop in the middle of the actual orbs that you collect from Doom 3. So this is the other area that you'll find it. But everything else kind of comes on the other orbs. And like, where am I at? These are the ones I see. I haven't even been popping them. It's crazy. I have that's the elite one we're just speaking of. But yeah, okay, I have been opening them. I remember seeing these like numbers in the 20 and stuff, and I've been forgetting. But just to kind of go through it all, I mean, just kind of gives you the other basic orbs. They all have these names, and I forget all the different names. But all right, so I think I'm all good there. Right, but I want to pause. I mean, we'll kind of probably start wrapping up the show. This is just kind of the new hot thing right here. It says Doom 3, and this is again just part of the farming. This is kind of part of where you're gonna start getting your orbs and things like that towards the G617 characters. Now, I do have video. I'll kind of look into it here in a second. But I want to know, this is pretty cool because I go on the left side of our alliance. Darth goes on the other end. You tell me, how does it feel to start off in the Mystic? You got the easiest section of the raid, in my opinion. I mean, would you say that Mystic is the easiest one?
Mystic and Skill for me. Those are the two I hit every day, and they're very easy.
Yeah.
I don't find any real problems in those two sections.
Okay. But it's in the mutant section. Now, see, I don't
Yeah,
touch mutant until I'm like up here on the top towards the very end, which is a grind to get to. But you get to jump
yeah,
right into it. You tell me what that feels like.
it's hard. My X-Men aren't up to it. My Weapon X isn't up to it. My Unlimited isn't up to it. A combination of them can be. But the X-Men actually do the best because they're a raid team. So I have a feeling it's going to be a combination of Axemen plus a couple other key characters, Omega Red or Rogue, maybe Emma or something like that, to keep them going and keep them fast and keep them cleansed. But the mutant sections are hard. You can get through the first two nodes reasonably, but the last node's got Morgan Le Fay on it. Like, you got some Darkhold members on that team that come out, and Morgan Le Fay is a jerk. Like, it's the facing one at the end of a raid on a mutant node. It was she's one in the last wave to drop. She was very hard to handle and to deal with. But it's doable. Like that was the real struggle for me, was the mutant boss node.
Yeah, I was pulling this up over here when you were talking about that, kind of trying to see the nodes here. So I think this is the first one. This one I was able to get into. It didn't seem too hard. Now, you know what team I went in with is I replaced Kitty with Rogue, but I kept the other four Axemen members. And I was able to one-shot it once I got up there. But Rogue is the one that I would highly recommend if you want to plug in. She can go in there for
Gambit.
Kitty.
Like Gambit's got a lot of Gambit's passive attack has got so much value that you didn't understand was there.
Oh yeah, you know what? And that's funny. I haven't experimented with that because I did put Omega Red in there on one of the second nodes. I think I put Omega Red, Rogue, and then let the core 3 Axemen, which are Beast, Bishop, and Jubilee. But I didn't think about putting Gambit. That would make sense too, because that.
I'm using him because I'm in my second DD5 run. Like, he's one of the characters I brought to 16, so he's on. He's a global option for me now, and that's the section I'm in. And his passive damage is valuable. Like, it's maybe just as bad, but you'd think it would work in raids as well, where there's a lot of enemies on the field at once, or maybe there's a lot of minions on the field at once, and they're taking a lot of turns. Well, as they take turns, they're killing one of their characters. And it's been extremely helpful in Dark Dimension 5, and I think that it may be an answer in part of these mutant nodes where they get this big wave that drops, and then they all start going immediately. I think that passive damage from Gambit may be helping. Okay. Well, would, but I think that if you get him big enough, this is all stupid theory stuff because we don't know.
Yeah,
I've only done it twice, so
yeah. So we able to get the unlock, and we went to 3.1. We're pretty close of unlocking that one, but I think that the burnout was there overall. Plus, another thing is our Fridays. That's kind of like a lax day, so we were like running that on a Friday.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we had some barriers to kind of clear it, but ultimately, I didn't feel too overwhelmed with 3.1 stage that we're at. But I am reaching into my pocket now, though. There is an occasion where my health pack, I need to go ahead and start, rehealing some characters. And that was going to be my question for you on this mutant section. It's just walking through it again. Are you kind of steamrolling like this? I guess what's
healing characters. I'm definitely healing characters.
Okay. I'm so scared that even when they're kind of like tinkering in the middle, I'm like, oh nope, I got to go in full health, and I'm like, it's crazy. But this one right here, like this one. Well, let me start back. Have you been able to one shot it, like the first node on the mutant?
First one, yes.
Okay. And
yes.
Second one.
I think I have to two shot that one.
Okay, and for sure the boss one.
And for sure the boss node. But well, I think that's God. I think that. I don't even know if I've successfully two-shotted that one because I think that somebody else has gone in there in between and done some damage.
Okay.
Because all four of us can go attack it, and it feels like right now, like that's how it has to be. Like you got to go in and then be like, all right, just go boom, 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 boom. Everybody use one attack on the boss node and we'll get it down.
Okay. Yeah.
But that Morgan Le Fay right there is a piece of crap.
Damn, and she pops up on those origin stuff that I was looking at too. And so I haven't gotten to the boss node of Mutant. That's just like the very last node from my side. I haven't tasted that, but I Okay, so bet on the Origin side? Oh shit. Yeah, she's
You gotta kill that Crossbones because he drops at the same time Morgan Le Fay
oh
does,
lord.
and then he taunts right before you kill her. At least that's what happened to me. I had Morgan Le Fay with a sliver of health.
Hmm.
Crossbones taunted. I couldn't get the AoE to her, and she used her fucking ultimate and full healed.
That
So
sucks.
it was over.
All right, so once you get through that part of it, then you jump into the skill, which is like kind of the second easiest. So won't
Yeah,
talk
skill was
about it
great.
too much. Yeah. But then when you get over here, bio, this is kind of going back. To me, the two difficult ones are going to be your bio and your mutant. So were you able to experience the bio section?
Yes.
All right. So first one is easy, I would say.
Easy one shot with Web Warriors, full Web Warrior team.
Yeah. But it's the second one that comes in. That second
hmm
wave when Phoenix drops with all her buddies. This is a two-shot one. Try to fight through. If you try, for me personally, and maybe for others too, who've experienced it, you want to fight through that and go through magic, so that way she doesn't. So Phoenix doesn't get her like two revives and stuff. They're just your poor web warrior team is going to be down to its grave, and you got one to have to, or you probably just die. I mean, you lose the whole web warrior squad. And the smart play off of it, like Darth was mentioning to our alliance, is when she drops, you kill her, and then you just quit, right? You just quit off of that.
Yep.
And then that way you still have your web warriors on the field. You don't have to worry about spending the health packs or cores, maybe one or two, depending, what happened. But ultimately you don't have to revive the whole team, and
Right.
restart it. Yeah. So that's the smart play to kind of currently to go off of that because they just start popping off crazy.
Right. An overall theory for this, in case any of our Alliance guys are listening, is refreshing an energy is way cheaper than healing your characters.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 cores for another energy versus 250 cores or 250 health packs to revive your whole team.
Yeah. But I would say this part of that, just so you don't lose more characters, is get this guy, this bishop, beast. I'm sorry, because he has that mechanic with the speed up, right?
He's my number
Or
one target when that
if
goes. I could kill him first.
yeah, him and Jubes. I mean, because that combination of like when they start popping up your web warriors, and then that second wave drops, and if they're still lingering, forget it. I mean, it's chaotic.
We can talk about it real quick because I've played it enough to remember you got to kill Beast and then you've got to kill Gamora. Those are your top two. You
Okay.
get them down, and then everybody else will die from splash damage or whatever. And by the time you kill Phoenix, Adam Warlock is no longer at full health. He's still on the field, but he's not at full health.
Uh-huh.
Deathpool just dropped with a few of those other people. When you go back into clean, Adam Warlock doesn't have a revive. There is no Phoenix, so Magic and Colossus are relatively neutered at that point because they're literally only there to support Phoenix. And then Deathpool becomes your number one character to take out. Deathpool and Jubilee.
Okay. And you're doing this all full web warriors. You're not creating a hybrid
Yes,
with
I'm not. No, I'm
Scorpion.
not. I'm not using a hybrid at all. No.
Okay. Cool.
And the thing, and their basics. Gosh, Web Warriors like they work so well in Doom 2 that we're able to get by with them at gear tier 14 or 13 and level 75 or 80. I think that this will all be a much more doable thing once our Web Warriors are full strength. We're all still working with a 5-star, or at least I am. I only have a 5-star Scarlet Spider. I mean, I'm real close to a 6-star, and it'll light up a 6 red star for me. But so I think that amount of damage and things like that may actually affect how it plays out for me. Because right now, at 5 red stars, Scarlet Spider's ultimate is wiping waves. Still, like their damage is still through the roof. Um, but I feel that their longevity just isn't quite there yet with some of the big damage that comes out. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit too RNG. It's almost like the Pestilence one, where if they don't dodge, you're a little.
Yeah. No, I laugh. That's true. That's exactly how I felt in the beginning. I'm like, am I gonna get lucky? He's in dodge. But yeah, but this I jumped into the team roster right here because a new question again when we talk about the farming, people want to start building up for the Apocalypse Sagas, but then you got the Doom raid, which is, in my opinion, your raid teams are going to be start priority one because you need those resources to get to Apocalypse. Kind of jumps right back into this team. So we'll kind of recap by kind of going into those sections there without pulling up the map. We'll kind of go into the team build up. So within the bio side, this is the team. This is the bio team to use. I did kind of tinker with like Squirrel Girl, but she takes away some synergy from the squad that they're primarily there for. That's when Spider Punk does become relevant. He is a raid character, yeah, and then you need to keep him in here for these bonuses right here with these crit chances, and so definitely keep him in there. But I would hold off. I keep, I have these three on the 15 side. Only reason why that I have these two into the G16 was for the DD5 run, and they were part of my bio section, right? But that's it. I mean, and I will kind of hold on to this. Now, what I am starting to do is now here I jumped into Scarlet Spider. So even before my Dark Code, I'm starting to level up these characters because these are my daily, my daily raids. So I'm gonna start getting them up. I'm gonna start going 90 across the board right here. So this has become my new priority one, and this is where my focus is currently at within my playing style. Now the second part, and I haven't been to that section on the mutant side, and this is kind of where I enjoy talking to Darth, because I have been noticing that the real true team is still the X-Men as far as build up. But there's so many mutant people now, right? I mean, you see that. But I guess if we were to kind of, divide it up by team build here, I can find Astonishing X. I'm already at a point where this is where I was fine having them at the Doom 2.2 level that we're at. But I'm gonna start building them across the board at 85 now. I don't see myself putting any tail gear in anybody.
No.
Yeah, but we'll
That's
see.
That's a mutant team, and we have
Yeah, for you personally, your squad, do you have them at 85 across? Or,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 85 and 15 all the way across the board already.
Okay. I will build, if anything, if I were to start going up to level 90, would you say it's these first three right here?
Yes.
And what's strange is that Bishop, you do need it, man. I have him at 6, which I'm happy with. I may have purchased that, but if I didn't, I would purchase it. I would highly recommend him as a 6, especially at this level, because I noticed on some of the first two nodes, couldn't he get one shot? Like, I mean, like, depending on if he's a weak, right? He's your pre-taunt, he comes on there, and if he's not, built up enough, he's just gone. And that's what I noticed. I was actually watching some content creators, and everybody was just struggling, and it made me giggle a little bit because, like, it was like the feeling that I have sometimes. You just see that live, I was like, oh man, that's, everyone kind of runs into some experiences. But when they were really like trying to theory craft when they first went in there in the game mode, and they were kind of, that pre-taunt is crucial because he needs to kind of take that initial barrage with the defensive up and so forth. When you plug in somebody else and then they target somebody else on your squad, it just gets kind of crazy. But yeah, definitely those two. Yeah, go.
They're on the raids where you're getting your ass kicked with your mutants on the opening barrage. It's good to put Bishop on the end next to Iceman, so that if there is splash damage, Iceman is taking it, and if it wipes Iceman, he will have a revive.
Smart. Okay. Good deal on that placement. Now, if there were to be a hybrid, I talked about...
You're going to use...
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's only 4 characters that I can think of that you're going to place in there. Omega Red, Rogue, Gambit, and Emma. And you're not going to use all 4 of them. Max, you're going to use 2 of them, maybe 3. You could maybe get away with Jubilee, Beast, Rogue, Gambit, and Emma or something like that, or Omega Red. But I think it's going to be the core, at least 4 or 3 of the Axemen for now, and you're gonna sprinkle in some of your legendaries and some of your great big mutant tunes. Are you on the same thought?
I am, but no. I'm on the same thought, but again, I mean, I can't really dive deep into it like you did because I only played it twice. But I'm pausing right now because I wanted to ask you, and I don't mean to get too sidetracked, but it's still within the same conversation. But on the Mutant Origins, did you get the level difficulty 5 all the way through?
No. I didn't even really. Like I said, I got them all 4 3-starred, and then I said we'll try the next one next week. I was really busy all week this week,
Yeah, it takes some
My
time.
my my real life is hitting very hard this time of year. My occupation has kept me very busy.
Okay. But you were able to unlock, like, you're at difficulty 5 though, right? At this point.
Oh yeah, I can attack it if I want. But like
Okay.
this morning again, even though it's not a work day, like I was just in a hurry, so I ran through and just autoed 4 because it was easier and quicker
The
than
res-
trying to worry about that.
yeah, no, the big tip I'm going to tell you to do off of this one right here is we're
Mm-hmm.
theory crafting, right? As we're doing on the Doom 3 side. So you're going to have this
Right.
roster lined up. You're going to go with the core 3 of the Jubilee, Bishop, and Beast. But the two characters that I jumped into, which made me think maybe I'll test on Doom 3, the same concept. I brought in Emma and I brought in Sinister.
Mm.
And so my Sinister's 7 red. When I clone, I get the full freaking benefit of what he has to provide on.
Clone.
So on that Origin one, that was my trick to get the 3-star unlock, is that I came in with that squad. What Sinister ended up doing is that I went and started, I got to able to clone at least 2. I felt like I might have gotten a third one, but for sure I got like 2 extra clones on my field. It was insane. But I had him, and I my first target, because there's a Strife out there. That's what I did. I went after Strife and cloned him on the Origin. When Strife comes on the board, he starts giving ability energy to you know who, to Sinister, and then his ability energy got me to get like a second clone out there, and then I might have gone after like Morgan Le Fay or somebody like that. I can't remember now, but yeah, it was crazy. So it kind of makes me think a little bit, like, within this play, because I know at least on Doom 1, that was one of the boss nodes, is when you bring in Sinister out, or maybe the second node, and you have like extra
Long
X
shots.
factor, yeah, long shots. Then that's, yeah, I don't know. So it's not something out there, hey, for those that want to take it and have more time of the theory crafting off of it.
Especially
Something
on
to
those
look at.
origin things. I mean, those are free shots at everything. Those don't require energy. Those don't require anything. If you
Hmm.
fail, it doesn't cost you one of your energies. Like,
Yeah.
that's a cool place to experiment and test out some characters.
All right. So that's mutant. That's the bio side. Skills, kind of, just to kind of recap our conversation and close out, because I am gonna upload this in 2 separate videos. Um, when we talk about the skill side, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? It's gonna be your
Same skill team I've been using. That's
yeah,
how I've set
Secret
it up.
Avengers with Kestrel.
hmm
Yeah,
And Shang-Chi, no Nick Fury.
correct. Okay. Yep, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so we get through that section pretty easily. And then I know what's the other one? Tech. Now tech is kind of interesting. Um, on the tech side, I've actually been having some success with it. I saw a lot of people struggling with it. And I don't have the map in front of me, but I have the roster build up. Before I kind of jump on my take off of that, I mean, do you have any, like, when
I
did
mean, I
this
did
this was at
mine.
the very, this is your, like, this is like for me, the mutant, this is your last section, right? The tech.
hmm
Okay, so you probably did you get to the
I've
boss
never.
level?
No, I'm. I don't. I can't. I don't think I've ever played a tech note on this one because it's the last section.
Yeah. So for me, the team buildup that I do, which I actually have saved on here, is let's go. What's the middle one, right? Section.
Yeah, the green one.
It's lagging a little bit here. Um, I like the last 3 that I have on here, and it's funny. This is the carryover from Doom 2.2, and it's not that squad, but it's this first one right here. So I kind of go in with this squad, the Nebula. Now I am going to start getting her to 85. She's just so crucial because there's an occasional where her passive ability comes up, and then she comes in with the assist attack, which then makes that third attack go through with your striker. And if you look at this squad, look, the strikers that I have are the heavy hitters. I got Doom, I got this girl, lady, and Kestrel, and they're like 6, 7 stars, kind of, except for Doom. But I mean, when I get those shots off with that assist, it's huge. But that's for me personally, and maybe it's, my star levels, which makes things different for others' experiences. But then with Shuri, of course, then she gets that ability. So at sometimes, again, it's all RNG. But when it goes your way, but man, it goes your way good. And Doom can also kind of get off early if he catches that ability. So it's a cool, interesting team. That's my go-to team there. And I want to say that they can kind of get through the first 2 nodes. But then the second person, that can replace this girl, Nebula, is going to be your boy, Cha-Cha.
Yep.
Which I have him down here. So at times, I do plug him in. And all this just depends on what the opponents are. Like, I need to throw blind out there seriously. On certain people, I think there's a Silver Surfer on that node, if I can remember. That's who you want to start blinding. So whichever node it is that Silver Surfer's in there, I mean, that's when you want to bring in, Star-Lord T'Challa. And then that helps out a ton. So that's really like, this is the 5 characters there, 6, including Cha-Cha. Now, when I get into the boss node, I can still bring in this girl, Misty. And that's all for the main concept that we had back in the past where you need ability block Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my team right there. So she'll come in for that. What was funny though, the second time we ran it on 3.1, the damage output on the opponents are so strong that she got one shot. She didn't even get to play.
She didn't get to take her turn. Yep.
I was like, what the hell? She was gone. And I was like, do I quit? Do I play? And I just played through it, and the 4 of them, dude, held their own. Like, I went all the way. I knocked out Doom. I went through the second wave, and then it was just an easy cleanup for Morlick to go into. And I was just like, I ain't gonna refresh
T'Challa's
yeah,
a really good character. He's a really, really good character.
yeah, and you got to place him somewhere next to this girl, because then she throws the evades out for him whenever she captures it, because you know how he copies abilities to his adjacent teammates. Yeah,
Put him between Kestrel and Lady Deathstrike, because if you time out Kestrel's special and then you use Cha-Cha's ultimate right after, you get the defense up, the offense up, the speed up, all the shit that Kestrel just gave herself.
Mm-hmm. And then when the Doom Bobs start coming through, then he gets some other stuff around him.
And because every kill that you get, I don't remember what percentage, but a percentage turn meter. So if you do a big kill with Doom and you kill 3 or 4 characters, T'Challa is going to go off 2 or 3 times in a row as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rousing Ravager there.
Yeah. All right.
So, but as a caveat to that tech team, we have to mention, as cool as our tech teams are right now and as much fun as we're having, they're not the team for this.
No, there you go.
Do not invest in those characters anymore. Because if you haven't built up, I mean, they're cool because we invested in that team already, and there's something we've already spent on, so we need to use them. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't, and you're like, oh, I should build those, no, those are not the characters. It's Iron Man, Vision, Vision, Hulkbuster, and Deathlock. Those are the characters. And we brought up the Scourge event calendar and things like that earlier. Well, they are an unlocked team for death. So your investment into this Bionic Avengers.
Yep.
Not Cap.
Oh no, my bad. I'm over here thinking about his team. Yeah, that's the team after you unlock him. There you go.
Right. So that's the team they're going to unlock. Or no, they're for the Death Scourge. So that's not even the team they're going to unlock. My fault.
There we go.
But so I'm curious. Like, I'm building my team up slowly. Like you are. I think I don't have the gear on the 2 other ones, but I do have a 14 Iron Man, and I have levels on you. But that's it. That's the team. Like, I'm curious how Iron Man's going to fit as a plug and play on that team. Is Iron Man going to be better than T'Challa with his like, look at his rocket barrage. It's awesome. He extends debuffs by 1, and it doesn't classify what kind of debuff it is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you haven't put the T4 in it. See, I put the T4 in it, so it extends them by 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see. Like, I'm having issues with those T4s. Yeah, but
I can't believe you're having issues with anything. That's silly to me. You have everything in truckloads.
Hell no, not my T4. I joined our alliance too late, man. Y'all were like on Doom. I was like struggling on those raids back in the day where you get those rewards. But yeah, no, here it's no. I'm glad you brought that up. You're 100% correct. I mean, that team that I go in there, it's not like where you need to get teal gear in them. Only reason why you saw the teal gear in a lot of those characters is all again for Doom aspect.
We just got this new information. You can't rewind the past.
Yeah, DD5 is where that whole tech squad. Right. But this one right here, yeah, I guess it'll be the same concept though. Like, I mean, as far as I'll get them up to the G15, 85 or 90, probably all the way up to 90, because this is going to be the raid team. I'm just thinking like, okay, so I got the 3 red, I got the 5 red stars off of him. So we got the month long. So it's gonna take a whole month to start seeing him build up. But when that month is going through, in between, we'll start getting Vision and Hulkbuster, and I can't I'm trying to think on the Rumorville sites. For some reason, I think she's the very last
It's coming
character.
up. Oh, I think she's next. Hulkbuster.
Okay.
I thought Hulkbuster was the last one of the Bionic Avengers before they start coming out with Abomination and Brawn.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know.
I could be wrong. It really doesn't matter. We have 2 more character releases before that team's full, so that's how long you have to work your team up to level 14 or 15.
Mm.
So 3 weeks, 4 weeks, probably about 3 weeks now.
All right. All right. Well, that is the tech build up there. I think we already touched on the mutants, the bio. We did the skill. This is the tech. Is there a fifth? What was the fifth? Yeah,
We
we're
talked
good.
about Mystic, Bio,
Oh,
Skill,
there you go.
Tech,
Mystic. I
and
added.
Mutant.
I
We
added
talked about them all.
No, but just for funsies. That's why I'm drawing a blank because I didn't bring up the Mystic Squad team, but I just kind of just to kind of close off on them, just to show the team side of it though. Did you go in with your Dormammu?
No, I
Yeah.
used
Okay.
you're right. I used Deathpool and Morgan Le Fay, the Eternals, and I
You
can't
hit
even
it.
remember who else.
I had to
I don't.
pause.
I
No,
don't think it was Dormammu, but it's all about Deathpool and Morgan Le Fay
yes.
together. She just feeds her energy and
Ooh.
she just kills everybody.
Yeah, she's a must. So if there's the MVP of the Mystic, it's actually her. She definitely is a high-end raid character. But yeah, he said she feeds ability injury. So yeah, you got Morgan Le Fay. I did come in with her too, and I did come in with the Eternals. So I did that 4 squad, and then I brought in Dormammu. And
Right. That should be the team I use.
yeah. But I mean, you can come in with other options. I'm sure they all work out. But there's like you got kind of room to play with stuff. All right.
Yeah. For me, it was Morgan Le Fay and Deathpool ran that show.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna be the wrap on our recording. I'll go ahead and kind of close it off here for you guys on YouTube that are watching us. Appreciate it. Definitely, if you have any theories that you've been working on, you can tell us in the comments. We'll take a peek and share it with the viewers next time. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in to catch us. And I think next week I'm really gonna dive into it. I've started recording. I just didn't have it all. I don't have the time on a day to day to kind of have that prepped. But I'll start recording kind of what I've been going through on the runs there. And maybe if Dark has some time, I know Dark has his channel that he kind of stepped away from. I haven't seen the little notifications, but he may share. I don't know. Do you think you have time to
Oh
just
yeah.
hit that record
Oh yeah.
button?
It's not hard to screen record.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Well, yeah, catch him. I'll have a link to Dart's channel too if y'all curious about his runs. Because again, we kind of go to 2 different sides. So we'll be kind of curious about just kind of hearing our feedback next week. All right, y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and good luck with your the Pestilence Saga event that's gonna roll out. So it's more and more stuff to talk about. See y'all next week. Bye bye.